Good morning, YouTube. As I promised, this video is going to be on freight lanes and just how you can just discover load boards to where it can help you out tremendously. Let me turn my music down. Especially for newbies. Like, obviously, as a new driver, you're not going to truly understand load boards, but once you just sit down and do research and really like play around with the load board, especially if you're trying your best to come out as a new lease operator or owner op, these load boards will help you to keep up with your dispatcher to where they can't pull the wool over your eyes. Because I just looked into 123loadboards.com and I signed up for the load board, and this load board shows you the rate. It shows you how much that load, like from, let's just say from Massachusetts to Florida, it'll show you how much per mile that, like, from a load like that will pay. It shows you how much fuel it takes. It shows you how much tolls it would take to do the trip, and it just shows you the rate. But obviously, if you're doing lease options, or lease purchase or lease operator, you probably lease on with a mega company like me. I'm leased on with Prime, or you probably lease on with whoever you lease on with. So obviously it's probably forced dispatch or dispatchers that get a percentage of what they send you. But once you get into getting your own authority, you know, you kind of cut that dispatcher crap out. So now you're just dealing purely with brokers, even though brokers still get their 20% anyway. But it's better to deal with brokers, because brokers really, especially if you build a relationship with brokers and you know, receivers and shippers, you know, you got to run for a while before you can even get that far. But I want to read off the freight lanes that I did my research on. Like, I go on Google and I like do in-depth research, and I go on like the trucking websites to do in-depth research to get the latest information that they're putting out there. And so far, what I came up with, I'm going to read it off my journal, my notes that I took. You know, I always try to take notes. So, freight lanes, from what I came up with from Google, the worst loading states, and it changes. This is not to say that this is in concrete, because from day to day, rates go up, rates go down. It's kind of like a stock market. One day it might be hot, next day it might be good. This quarter might be hot, next quarter might be bad. So it's really foreseeing when quarters go up and down. So you just got to kind of ride with the waves, because there's so many waves in this trucking thing when it comes to numbers, pay rates, average per mile, stuff like that. Fuel, even fuel, like fuel surcharges go up and down all the time. So the worst loading states are, from just for today, and I mean, I don't know when it'll change. It's up to you to do your research. But from what I found so far, worst loading states are Washington, D.C., New Hampshire, South Dakota, New Mexico, and Colorado. They didn't really give a whole lot of worst states, but they saying the best states, meaning like the highest paid, is Mississippi, Tennessee, Illinois, South Carolina, West Virginia, Missouri. North Carolina is hot. North Carolina is having some hot loads coming out of there. They hot, and Florida, because of the disaster. Anytime you got a disaster, you're going to have some hot loads coming out there, because obviously they need stuff to come in and out of there. So Wisconsin, Michigan, Delaware, Minnesota, Georgia, Arkansas, Alabama, and Kentucky. Now I'm kind of they said that Arkansas and what is it? I have never been to Minnesota yet, but they said Arkansas and Georgia are good loading states. But there was a couple loads that I got was like, what the is this? And a lot of times, you know, dispatchers or even these mega companies can play around. So a lot of times with the load might be paying, especially when you're going through those third parties, you're not going to really see what is getting paid. They can cut it so bad that by the time the lease driver get it, it's just like, what the hell is this? So reject, or what the, and a lot of people just take it, because, you know, these companies brainwash us so much that you'd be so scared to reject the load, because most of the time when you reject the load, you know what's going to happen? They're going to give you a load that's 10 times worse than the one you just got. That's how they try to control you. They'll try to do scare tactics to where if you don't accept this, they won't tell you this, but you can just look at, like, just sit back and look, and you can see, okay, well, every time I reject the load, they give me something that's paying way less and going to a worse or lower state. So the fact of it is, just keep rejecting. I mean, it's not good to reject, but when you know you got a dispatcher that's trying to pull the wool over your eyes or do things to where it's messing with your money, you're not going to move your wheels for little to nothing. You're not going to move your wheels when the cost of fuel is damn near half or more than what the load is paying. It's like you just paying for to give it back to the company or for fuel. So you got to be smart as a lease op when you accepting loads. Like, you got to factor in your fuel, factor in the mileage, how much is getting paid per mile. Like, is it a short haul, is it a long haul? Like, you really got to think of all of that, because that's how those decisions will determine if you're going to have a great revenue profit for the week. So you really got to think. So after looking at all those states, I came up with like some informational boards that has load boards and informational like own authority, changing laws and stuff like that. One was truck stop. I'll put all this stuff at the bottom of my link, so in case y'all can't understand my accent, you can of course read English, right? So one was truckstop.com, and truckstop.com got it got a load board. It has information in the trucking industry and stuff like that. And then, of course, 123loadboard.com. I signed up for that yesterday. Now, with 123 Load Board, they have a free 10-day trial, and after that, you pay. It's like 3 different packages, I think, and you can pick one. And I'm going to pay for it because, you want to have a leg to stand on when you negotiate with your dispatchers, because a lot of times I ain't saying all of them, but majority of them dispatchers going to play on your ignorance. And if you don't know how to talk their language, they going to have a field day with that. Like their job is to make the company money, and obviously to get percentages off of what they send you. Because the way most dispatchers get paid, that once they have sales and they have dispatchers, and sales they set up all these loads with shippers and receivers, and it goes up and down all the time, so they steady negotiating prices of the load. So once they get these loads, they disperse them out to all the dispatchers. So the dispatchers get a certain amount of loads a day that he's going to dispatch out to all his drivers. So the way he gets paid is, as soon as you go and pick up that load, and you picked it up on time and picked it up, and you left with that load and signed for it, he got paid. As soon as you deliver that load on time, no damages, no cargo claims, like you got it there, bang, boom. You delivered it, signed off, and now you completed the load. He got paid. Then he also gets paid from, if you staying out the negative, because obviously you got fixed costs, and then, you got other stuff that needs to be covered. And his job is supposed to be to get you numbers to where you covering your fixed costs and seeing a pretty nice profit. So if every week you can say you want to go negative, like in the rears, he gets deducted. I'm not exactly sure, but from what I heard, they get $100 deducted off of them for certain things like that happening. Like if you go in the rears, $100 come out of his check because he didn't keep you running, or he didn't give you the miles reserved. So this is another website that's pretty neutral for all truckers, and I'm probably sure most of y'all know. It's called www.dat.com load board. That has load boards, and that's pretty much like nationwide all the way around. And the number for that is 1-800-551-8847. They open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then you got Truckers Edge as well. And which one is this? I think Truckers Edge, but Truckers Edge help you. You can pay these guys to set up your own authority. Now, your own authority ain't something you just jump into. Like, you might can get away with jumping into a lease purchase or a lease op. You might can get away with that, because I'm getting away with it. But to jump into our own authority, like blindfolded or not knowing what your goals or what you're trying to do, you will fail quick. You got to have your insurance set up. You got to know what states you want to run out of, because your insurance depends on what states you're choosing to run. And if you don't have all that stuff down packed, you're going to fail because you're putting out all this money, but it's not coming in. So you really got to have your stuff together. Then you got to have your experience to be on authority. I mean, you got to really get it set up. But if you don't want to do all the paperwork yourself, you can go through Truckers Edge, and I think it's like, matter of fact, I'm sorry. It's not Truckers Edge. You go to www.dat.com to set up your own authority, and their price for it is like $549. So, like I said, that let me turn this down. That has a lot of resources for drivers that's trying to get their business off the ground. So yeah, the number if you want to get them eventually to set up your own authority, you got a phone number in the website. The phone number is 1-866-265-3172, and then the website is www.dat.com. And the price I see on the website to set everything up for you is $549. But yeah, man, shoot, that's pretty much it, man. That 123 low boy, I am so happy I ran into that thing, because it sucks when your dispatcher try to send you loads, and like the way with Prime do it, like they'll send you like where it's going, the first stop, the 90, where it's going, and then the settlement. And the settlement is like how much it pay out. But like I said, those payouts might not be right. Like they can change it to where the settlement you getting is not really what it paid. Because I was talking to this Prime guy, and he was saying he picked up from one location, and the guy picked up the same load from the same location, but his load paid him more than the guy that picked up at the same location for the same load. And drivers talk, so they started talking, and somehow they end up conversing about how much their loads was paying. And I think the guy that I was talking to, he said his load paid like $1,200, and the other guy, his load paid like half of what his paid, six something. So the guy was flabbergasted that was getting the 6 something. He went to a truck stop, and he sat and he told his dispatcher that he was not moving that truck until he got what the other guy was getting. Like, y'all not gonna just try to get over, because they will. If they can get you to run a load for way cheaper than it's worth, then trust they will, because the company pockets that money. I'm not too sure if the dispatchers pocket the extra, but obviously they get a percentage if they can make the company money. That's their number one thing, is to make sure the company make money. They don't give a fuck if you make money or not. I mean, every now and then, a lot of drivers might get cool with their dispatcher where they like this, but for the ones that's trying to like start from the bottom, get to the top genuinely and honestly, I ain't kissing your ass just to be like this. I don't give a fuck if we like this or not. Either you want to see my work ethic for what it is and give me loads according to my work ethic, or then fuck it, I'll leave a company and go where I'm, appreciated. Like, my goal is to work my way up to own authority. I'm going to get my own authority, and I'm going to either purchase this lease, which I probably doubt it, or I'm going to go to Long Mountain or somewhere and purchase me just a used truck. So that's just my intake on freight lanes and just own authority. So I'm going to start, now that I'm getting pretty comfortable with YouTubing, I'm going to leave my Facebook info, I want to leave my email, and I'm going to leave just contact information. So if you have any questions, or you just need to be inspired, or just hear good words that can keep you going through the day, hit me up. I'll try to, uplift anybody that, needs uplifting, because sometimes I need it myself. So we all out here should be helping each other out, loving each other. At the end of the day, love is all we got. So, all right, my brothers and sisters, strong in love. Alright, time is of the essence. Let's make better time of it, and I'll be getting back with y'all with the next video. This next video, I want to try to do a karaoke challenge, because it's this guy that watches my videos named JC the Elect. Like, he works for UPS, and he be having some good stuff, but I don't know why he's not getting a lot of views, but y'all should check his stuff out, because he did a karaoke video. I don't know if he took it down or not, but shoot, that would be really fun. Like I just do a Beyonce song or something, and then say I hit Saint For Real up, or Brad OTR, or I hit Mr. JC the Elect up, like, hey, y'all want to do the challenge? Feel love. Yeah, man, shoot. It ain't gotta be always just work. We can have fun over the road too. At the end of the day, you know, I got a job to do, we got a job to do, but why can't we make fun of it sometimes? And obviously we got this community going, so let's be family and have fun. So let's have fun through this web, through this internet, and make the best of it, because time is of the essence, everyone.